Hi, it's Jan Moss here again, and I'm in the car today because, or at least the van, I have to say I've got a van, because the tree cutters over where I live are using all their equipment and it's really loud, so I'm doing this from the relative peace of the quiet of the car, although it's pretty hot in here because it's still a bit of a heat wave over in the UK. So I'm talking again about outsourcing. I mentioned it, the very cheap version with Fiverr. So it might be a good idea for you to have a go at that and see how you get on with it. But you might not get massive quality from Fiverr in terms of something that's really important. And although you might get lucky if it's an article, for example, you might do better looking at a little bit more of a higher source. But it's good practice using Fiverr to do some outsourcing. Now, when should you outsource? Well, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the money, or not the money, if you don't have the time or if you don't have the drive to do it. Those are the two main, and if you don't have the experience. Now, you do need the money, that is the thing you do need. But as we've said before, with Fiverr, you can do it for $5, it's not too bad. And even with lots of the other sites, you can do it for relatively little money. So, the thing you need to work out is what is your CPA, and that's short for cost per acquisition. So if it costs you 25 cents to do something, and doing that thing gets you $11, or you get a lead which is worth $11 to you, then it's obviously worth doing. So you need to work out your figures, work out how many leads you get from doing whatever it is you're doing, how much that costs you, and then also how many leads do you need to get to earn a certain amount of money as well. You need to work it out both ways. Now, how do you choose the right person to do your, or company to do your outsourcing? Well, the best way is to go to one of the sites I've listed below, and I'll just read them out now. So a few the most well-known ones. There's Elance, Odesk, Rent a Coder, and Warrior Forums for Hire. Those are the more elite ones. Obviously, I've mentioned Fiverr before. You need to use people that make a living from doing whatever it is that you want them, what you wanted to do. So, for example, if it's Facebook pay-per-click, find somebody who does that. That's what they do. Or if it's article writing, find somebody who writes articles. And then the best thing to do from there is to look at about 10 people, interview them all. You can do it either on the phone in some cases or by email, and then test them out. If it's an article, get them to write one article, see how much it is. If you have to pay $50 minimum on some of these sites, then obviously you need to get them to write several articles, well, not just one for $50, because that would be very expensive. And there's, for example, you could probably get 12 articles for $50 from somebody, or if not, you can negotiate and find out what you can get or what they're asking, and maybe knock them down a little bit. So that's the basic premise of how you do it. Once you like somebody, then sort of lock them in. Remember to test, or to check that it hasn't been plagiarised, that it is an original article with using the checker that I've got mentioned before. And if you like them, say, right, I'd like to employ you on a monthly basis or whatever, or on a weekly basis, and have an Excel spreadsheet with their name and contact details and all their information, so that you know where they are, and you've got all the information to hand. You could always get them to do an ebook, and it could cost you perhaps $300 for something like that. So you'd need to make sure that if you had, and that's for maybe 110 pages or something. So if you had that, then you would think that's a lot to sell. But you don't have to sell it for $300. You could sell it for $97, and then you only need to sell 3 copies and you've got your money back, and everything after that is profit, obviously. So it's not that hard when you think about it. If you've got a little sum of money that you can afford to lose, then it's not a bad idea to have a go at some of this stuff. Now, when you're doing this, for example, ebook, it's a good idea not just to have them write it, but also to have to add to it yourself, so you add your own pages to it. So if you have your own pages, then they can't copy your content, or I guess they could, but it would be very dangerous for them to do so on their own behalf. Okay, and for example, of really good deals, 12 articles for $40 is a really good deal. You probably struggle to get that, but that's the sort of thing you can aim for. Now, why do we want articles? Going slightly off track here, why do we want to have lots of articles? You need to own stuff on the internet that's yours. Now, it's great to be in whatever business you're in, whether it's a product that's like a juice or a potion or a cream, and it's also great to be in even something that is an information product, but it's somebody else's information product, where you're just doing affiliates. But all that could be taken away from you at some point, whereas if you have information of your own, then that's yours and no one can officially steal it anyway. And on that, have it be an information product, don't have it be a product that you're physically making yourself if your intention is to do online marketing, because it's a heck of a lot easier, it's instant, there's no postage and packing, there's no money back stuff that's where it's got lost in the post. It's all straightforward and simple. The other thing you'll find that there are either single people that do this sort of outsourcing work, or there's teams. If they're a single person, then they're keen to get the money, so you can make sure that they're doing a good job for you. Otherwise, you can explain that you're not going to pay if they do a rubbish job, or if they cheat or don't get it on time or whatever it is. So then make sure that they're going to do it well for you. And also you can have a team where you speak to one person, but they have a team of other people that they deal out with. So in effect, I guess they're outsourcing themselves. So what do you need to tell them? Well, you need to tell them you want it SEO optimized. Probably be a good idea if you have your own keyword selection that you can give them. And some tips, if you have any, about how you want it to go. Obviously, how many words a minute, how many words you want in the article post, if it was an article post. And obviously you need to get their PayPal information so you can pay them when you need it by, and the flavour of it. If you have a particular style of your own, then perhaps show them a couple of your articles so that they can follow the style. You can always ask them to spin it as well. Obviously that's going to cost more money again, it's probably double the money that you have already paid them. But not everybody will do that, obviously. You need to find the right person. So if you had a blog, for example, and you want to have a post on every single day, which is advisable, you don't have to write all your own blog posts. You can have these outsourced, although I would suggest strongly that you do some of your own as well. What will you have on your blogs? Well, how-tos are really good, and the news, whatever's in the news. But when you write one of your own posts, make sure it is one that you've written and it's really interesting. Then send that to your list, and ask them to share and tweet it. Because once they've read it, then they can share it, tweet it. You're getting to their warm list. Even if they don't join you, you're getting to their warm list. So again, some examples of pricing. You could get 700 words for $5. That'd be a really, really good deal. So it's unlikely to be amazing, but you can try. And also, if you ask them to spin it, you could give them $10 and spin it to 70%. 500 words, more likely is 500 words for $12. and that's still a really good deal as well. So the ones I've mentioned previously, the places where you can get outsourcing, Elance, Odesk and Rent-A-Coder, they are all very well policed in terms of you put your money down, the site keeps it until the job has been done and then it's passed on, so you're fairly safe. Whereas Warrior Forum, you're just hiring somebody direct, so you need to make sure that you've well covered yourself. You're not going to get any trouble with losing money. Make sure you come to some arrangement whereby payment is done afterwards, or 50% up front, or whatever it is, because there's no warranty with that one. So I hope that's been useful for you. I'll probably do a little bit more on outsourcing shortly, but again, if you haven't the time, the energy, or you just haven't had the experience, but you have got some money, then this is a really great thing to do. And if you have more than one blog site, or blog or website, then try different tactics altogether on each one, or not altogether, but split test. Try using the same article with a different headline, or the same video with a different heading on it, or just change something slightly on each one and see which one is the one that goes, and then capitalise on that one, use that one in the future. So I hope that's been helpful. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hopefully I won't be so exhausted, and I hope you're having lovely weather wherever you are right now as well. Bye for now.